Hi, in this video I'll be showing you how to use the batch scenery junction creation for Windows tool which I've created. So this is a simple tool which basically allows you to create the make link junction onto your X-Plane scenery. Now the most common use I've seen using with X-Plane scenery and the make link junction is having your entire scenery folder on another hard drive or location. Now yes, it does work, however the organization element of it and having things where you need it, for instance if you've got an SSD and a hard drive and your SSD there is just to boot up the game and make the game run faster, however you want your scenery, as scenery can get quite large especially when you're auto-photoing, you'll need somewhere such as a large capacity hard disk drive to store all your data on. So this is basically a simple tool which helps to manage organization of each file instead, and it allows the batch creation of it. So the link will be in the description below, but you'll want to head over to this post I've made on the forums, and then you just want to click download the file. So once you've downloaded this file, the website can be a little bit slow at times, you'll want to head over to the location of the large scenery. So in this case I've got it in my large 4TB drive. And then I go into my games, X-Plane, and I've got my author for X-Plane scenery folder. So here you can see I've got all of my author photos. So I want to then I want to put that into my custom scenery folder here. So in here I've got stuff such as airports, which I like to have that little bit of loading up time, which is a lot more faster. And because you're going to be accessing an airport, and airports have generally got a lot of detail because of the modelling, I find X-Plane just runs that a little bit more smoother with it on an SSD. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to put all of this into this folder. However, we don't want it to be on the SSD, otherwise that will obviously take up our capacity. And something like this racks up into terabytes very quickly and very easily. For instance, this folder alone is 10 gigabytes. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to get your command.bat and you'll want to place that into the scenery folder. So with Chrome you can just simply drag and drop, and you can do that with a lot of other browsers too. Once you've got it, all you want to do is you want to right click and then you want to press edit. Now the reason why we need to edit it is because we need to change a couple variables. Now Windows might come up and say protected your PC. So the reason why it does it is because it is a .bat file which you've just downloaded off the internet. Now Windows doesn't know where the source is from, so it doesn't know. However, because it is just a simple piece of code, you should press run anyway. So it's only going to open up Notepad for the time being. So what you want to do is you just want to edit a couple of things. So I'll quickly just walk you through the code just so you have an understanding of what this file does. So it's going to pull up all the directories, and it's going to just get the directory, like the folders only, and then it's only going to give me just the name of the folder without anything else, and it's basically going to put all of the titles of the folders into a list.txt file. So I will show you that file later, and then once it's got it in a list, basically we've got a for loop here which allows us to keep going down the lines of the text file until we get to the bottom of it. So what we're basically doing is we're gonna, every folder name on every line is known as this to the script, just so obviously as it keeps changing, it can change with it. And then once it's gone and seen in the list and what it's got to do, it then does the command, which you can do in command prompt alone. However, you have to do each one manually and individually. So basically here we've got the make link and then the junction. This is capital J, so it's a hard junction, and then it's gonna go to the path of where the custom scenery is. So in this case this is my SSD, and then where your scenery that you want to move over. So this is your actual X-Plane installation. So this is where we're going to be linking it to, and then this is all the data that's going to go to it. So what we're going to need to do is, as you can see here, it says path to X-Plane. What you'll want to do is you'll want to pull up your custom scenery area, or just in general your installation to X-Plane. So in this case, if you click on the top here, I have mine in my D drive, which is my SSD. Then I've got Steam linked up to the Steam library, and then it's just following on from Steam there. So we're only going to need to take up to the /common here, as if you see in the text file, I've already put in the rest of it. So what you need to do is you just need to copy and paste that in, and make sure there's only one slash there, because as you saw a second ago, there was 2 backslashes. So just make sure there's one slash, and you've got to make sure that this all bit stays the same to make sure it goes into the correct folder. And now for the path of scenery, this is where I showed you where all the files are and where you're putting the command .bat. In here, all we need to do is simply take that and then copy it, and then we're going to have to approach it very slightly differently here. All we need to do is, instead of having to change that much, we just need to change here, because we're still going to need this backslash and then the %%i. This is to tell it that this is the name of the folder and this is the location of it. So when Windows runs the commands, it will put the folders in. So once it's done that, we can just simply hit File and Save, or Control S on the keyboard. And then all we need to do is simply double click and let the junctions be created. Now what you can see in here is it's created all the junctions for our X-Plane scenery. So if you were to run this multiple times, then Windows already knows the junctions created, so it won't make a duplicate. And every time you run the code as well, the text file gets deleted and then recreated, so you don't keep adding onto it and making it continuously looping further. So I said I was going to show you through the text file. So basically all it's doing is it's getting the name of these folders here, and it's basically dumping them in a text file. And now if we head over back to our X-Plane installation and then go into the custom scenery, you can see that we've started to now get these folders icons with the little shortcut symbol in the bottom left corner. This is basically the linked directory that we've made using a junction. So what it is it's exactly the same. So if we just use for instance the Y overlays, basically what it's doing is it's putting the path to make it seem like it's actually in the X-Plane installation, that the files are there. However, in the background, what Windows is doing is actually fetching the data from the other drive. In this case, it's my F drive, and it's picking it up from there. So for instance, if I was just to create a new folder, as you can see, between the two of them here, it has been synced. So if I delete it from one side, it deletes from the other side. If I create it and then call it something, they're continuously synced together. So what you need, so when you're doing it, basically X-Plane is still thinking that it's got the overlays here and it's actually in its own custom scenery. Now I said that I would show you if you were to run it again. So if you press it again, basically it says cannot create a file when that file already exists. That's because we've already created it. However, if I was just to quickly create a new folder and then run this one more time, it's going to do it. However, you can see it's made one new. So when we go back here, you can see again that we should have new folder, or new in this case. So that's basically how the text document works, and it won't create any duplicates or anything like that. Anyways, I hope you guys have found this video useful, and if you've got any issues, please comment either on the bottom of the video or into the forums where I'll be able to assist you. Thanks guys for watching, I'll see you later.